Now, if you're looking for something to do this weekend, the Clare Garden Festival is returning to the Ennis Showgrounds this Sunday. As you just heard there, it promises to be a fantastic day out for gardeners, food lovers and families alike. There will be tons of stalls from across the country, expert gardening talks, pop-up display gardens and plenty more. And joining me now to tell us more in studio is the festival manager and founder, Carmen Cronin. Jason McCormack of Food Tree is going to be there, and the chairman of the Clare Agricultural Show Society, Joe Lillis. Folks, welcome to studio. Thanks to all of you for coming in.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
So, Carmen, another busy one, as people would have heard in our recent competition for the Clare Garden Festival. Over 75 stalls. There'll be 17 new traders this time. So I suppose having quantity and quality, variety of stalls is important, but freshening some of them up so there's always a new element is equally important.
I absolutely agree, and I'm always saying...
I'm glad you agree. That's why I like having you on, because you agree with me on everything.
Thank you very much. I will find something not to agree on right now.
When we get to the weather, by the sounds of it.
So it's not a race to the top. So we're not trying to bring 100 stalls, 120 stalls or anything like that. It's about creating a market that is colourful, has a lot of different stalls, has obviously a lot of nurseries. We're bringing 5 new nurseries this year. That's quite a feat because, you know, they don't just come out of nowhere. It's actually really hard to set up a nursery and keep it going. So I'm really, really pleased with that. But there's no point in us bringing in 5 people that make honey or 5 crafters that do the same thing. It's really about getting the balance right, and that's what we try to do every year, yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I suppose with some of them then, you know, not as many people would go to them if there's the 5 of the same thing.
And it's about keeping the stallholders happy as well, because we want them to return every year. They don't just come from County Clare, and we love our County Clare ones, but they also come from all over. So, you know, they're saying, actually, I'm happy because it's a good atmosphere, I can make some money, and at the same time, you know, there's not too many, I'm not in too much rivalry and everything. So, you know, I think we have the balance there at between 70 and 80 stalls, and I'm quite happy with that. The other thing that we're doing for the last couple of years already is a specialist traders program, and actually Jason is our benefactor from that this year. And the idea there really is that we get support nationally and also from Carr Hurley Nursery, and we get a free stall for the trader in question, and some opportunities like coming in today to support that trader, because it's the traders that are in the first 5 years. And again, it's not an easy feat to be setting up a garden business and keeping it going, keeping it running. So that's what we want to support, and I'm really, really proud to say that this year the same programme is going to be launched in Limerick in June as well. So it's actually taken wings. Delighted with that. Okay,
very good. And Jason, tell us, before we get to what you're going to be doing at the festival, tell us a bit about Food Tree, which focuses on edible planting. So what exactly are edible hedges, and why are they becoming so popular? An edible hedge, that is something I've never heard of before.
Yeah, so an edible hedge is basically any food plant that will grow on the island of Ireland, particularly the west of Ireland, west of the Shannon. We're going to give it a try. So obviously we all know about plums or apples or damsons, but we like to try a few more obscure things like cranberries, or I don't know if you've ever heard of lingonberries, or just a few kind of rare types of berries, June berries. And basically, if we think it's edible, we'll try it out and we'll put it in a hedgerow.
I'm sure you could tell by the blank look on my face there, Jason, that lingonberries were a new one on me. Go on, tell me more.
So yeah, these are from Norway. They're also in Norway. They call them titimaka, and cowberry is another name, but they're in the vaccinium family.
I'm glad we call them lingonberries.
So yeah, they're in the vaccinium family, which we would know our own native wild blueberry, which is the frockin, it would have been called back in the day, and the vaccinium is in that range of family. So they like kind of acidic, boggy soil. And they're a delicious berry. They go well on meat, or they go well on their own, or they can be produced to a jam.
Okay, so I think you'd be opening a lot of people's eyes to this when you're talking about this on Sunday.
Yeah, so yeah, my plan is to do a bit of a show and tell on Sunday, maybe pick 20 or 25 different food producing plants that people might not know will work in the west of Ireland, and pass them around, show people, talk about them, and have a bit of fun with it.
Very good. And of course it is happening at the Ennis Showgrounds, and Joe, the perfect venue for it.
Correct. In actual fact, I'd like to say congratulations to Carmen once again for putting together what I think is going to be a very, very good event. She's a woman, of course, of great vision and plenty of foresight. The woman has done a great job up to now, and I'm sure...
Carmen's blushing.
Well done, Carmen. The Showgrounds I think, is the perfect venue for this. You have 17 acres in the Showgrounds. It's only a quarter mile off the bypass. It's the middle of town, really. It's an ideal location for all events. And the site, it sits perfectly with this event, you know. It's and you have the indoor community hall as well, you know. And also, like, Carmen kicks off the year, like, for us with the Garden Festival, you know.
Yeah, and I guess that mixture of indoor and outdoor spaces is important, Joe, you know, especially with our weather, although we might have more on that a little later on, because it is a little different to what we've been used to so far this year, but you can never be entirely sure, so it's good to have an indoor option.
It is. It's perfect at indoor because it's 200 feet long and it's about 80 feet wide, so that's a big indoor, and then you have a balcony on it as well, and then you have also a canteen area, which is an upstairs, which carries roughly about 2,000 square feet as well, like, you know.
Okay, plenty of room, which is just as well, with over 75 stalls and lots more happening. Carmen, in terms of, you know, I would have touched on the competition that there's the stalls, there's the demos, the workshops, but also, you know, for families, very much a family event. Like if you've children, there'll be plenty there. You know, children who aren't into gardening, don't worry, because there's plenty to keep them occupied and interested as well.
Yes, there is. So we always try and vary it for families and children as much as we can. Obviously, we're trying to encourage them to, engage with the gardening to an extent. So this year, actually, the new thing is that we're going to have a little demo spot where inside in the hall we have an area with a little planter, and Sinead from Bunratty is going to be at that on an hour, and afterwards we have another person, another gardener coming, and you can just go up and sow a seed, plant a plant, and have a chat with the gardener if you want to. We have archery again on the day with the Archers of Ennis, my apologies. We're going to obviously have some kids' rides there as well. But also we have the Forest School, and this year it's Badger and Blackbird doing the Forest School, and it's just a really nice way to encourage people and children to engage with things, even if they're not that green-fingered or not that keen on it, but just to kind of get started and look at things. And it gives parents also a chance then, to do something else, listen to a talk for a while or something like that if the kids are doing what they're doing.
And Jason, through doing what you do you see a growing interest in organic gardening and in, I guess, what Food Tree does? Oh,
just a massive growing interest. It used to be 10, 15 years ago, it was kind of a niche subject. Now I'd say it's fully mainstream, growing your own food. It's not a little thing that certain people do. Everybody is back. Since COVID, I think it exponentially increased, and since then it's really grew legs. The amount of people from all backgrounds that are interested in growing their own food, and even in small spaces.
Okay, very good. Yeah, obviously COVID, people reconnecting with their gardens. They were spending a lot more time in that than they had years previously. Joe, for anyone wondering in terms of parking and all that, what's the situation around the showgrounds?
It's very, very simple. We go down what we call the Rugby Club Road, and we park. We have parking space of anything up to about 1,500 cars in there,
Okay, brilliant stuff.
So you'd be very well to do get 1,500 cars in the place.
Very good. So look, it's this Sunday, the 26th. Ennis Showgrounds at the venue from 11 to 5. Carmen, tickets, if people want to get their hands on them, or can pay at the door, how does it work?
They can absolutely get them at the door. That's the way we've always done it. I think the main thing about the Garden Festival this year to say as well is that we're actually, all the gardeners, everybody's on stage this year is from County Clare. So we have fantastic gardeners and horticulturists here right in this county, and it's a really fantastic thing to showcase them to people here in Clare, to stick out their chest and say the knowledge that we have is fantastic, but also people come from all over the country to visit Clare Garden Festival, and to see 8 gardeners performing on the stage, on the demonstrations, the master classes and so on. It's something that we haven't done in a long time, and normally we have 4 or 5, and that's the norm that we always do, but it's just amazing to have everybody. Carl Wright's going to be there, Jim Cronin, Fergal Smith from up from Moy, as I was saying, Sinead from the Bunratty Castle Gardener, winner. Even Gert Stam is hoping to make it, and for Carhurl and Nursery, Jason Horner, and then Jo Newton, she's running the stage for, the last couple of years. So it'd be buzzing with gardeners. Be amazing.
Brilliant stuff. Okay, best with it, although don't need any good luck wishes because it always goes really well and well attended. My thanks to Carmen, Cronin, Jason McCormack and Joe Lillis. Folks, thank you very much.